All right, so let's kind of reel it on a bit. I don't know if we're supposed to go. Forget it.
Of course, somebody pulls out in front of you. Oh,
you want to help her out?
You want to help her out? Yeah, we can help.
Ooh, let's help her
out. We gotta help her.
Big Homie Joe, I'm gonna ask you a question, man. As a man who's not really super into technology, but a very knowledgeable person, what's your thoughts from what you're hearing commercial-wise and everything of the Galaxy S6?
I'm not a big fan of the whole Galaxy S line. I had the Note, and I had an S4.
You did like the Note though.
I like the Note, but I don't like all the extra stuff that Samsung puts on there.
The extra stuff.
I am a base Android guy. Right now I have a Nexus 6.
You like stock. You like a more stock Android experience.
Yeah, I don't like all that extra frilly stuff.
What if I told you the Galaxy S6 is a watered down version of TouchWiz, and you can remove everything that comes with it? You can get yourself an almost stock Android experience.
I would still go with a Google Nexus 6.
Fair enough.
Probably don't have to say Google Nexus 6. That's me not being technology smart. But the Nexus 6 is just so... It's the same thing without all that extra crap, without having to take the extra step of taking everything off. And I got to make all these changes. I can just, out of the box, I plug it up. I get all the new updates and stuff.
You do get the updates. I
don't have to wait for Samsung to get the update and then make it work on their software or whatever, however that works. I think
very factual what you're saying here. What about the HTC M9? What have you heard about it?
From what I heard, it looks exactly like the HTC M8, and that's an issue because if I'm going to go buy a new phone, I want it to look like a new phone. I know that sounds kind of
no, it's a valid concern that people are saying, but the average person though, and this trend is changing, but the average person buys a phone every 2 years because they're on contract. So if you had the M7 and you jump to the M9, that is a significant difference though. So what do you think, now that I say it that way, what do you mean, what do you think about it?
I still think that if you're going to buy the newest phone on the market, whether it's every year or every 2 years, you're still going to get one that looks like the newest phone on the market. Why go buy a new phone and be walking around and have one of your friends say, hey man, is it the M8?
Yeah.
And then you have to say, oh no, this is the M9. It just looks exactly like the M8.
Well, what about cars though? I mean, some manufacturers keep the same body style for 10 years.
They do. They tend to keep the same body style, but they make little alterations that are noticeable. They either change trim or they'll alter the grille slightly.
Now,
because if you look at the Charger, perfect example. You look at the 2014 Charger versus the 2015 Charger. They're the same body style. Overall, the look is the same. You're not going to be like, oh, that's not a Charger. That's some newfangled car.
Yeah.
But you can tell the difference.
All right. I'm glad you put it that way. You can tell the difference. Yeah. You're in the cars.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference. I'm not in the cars. The HTC M8 between M9, I can tell a difference, but most people can't. It depends on what you're into. So that's what I'm getting at, because people are upset that the HTC M9 looks like the M8. But the thing is, if you have award-winning design, why do you feel the need to change, for one?
Yeah.
And for two, if you're increasing the specs, making the specs better, I don't see a problem. Number three, that was not the case though. The camera got worse, and the battery got worse too.
So they made the same phone,
but it got worse.
See, that's a fail right there.
And it's overheating. So to fix the overheating, they then basically are throttling the chip aggressively. So that means when you're running a lot of applications, when you're lonely in your truck, when you're doing things that are very taxing to your system on your phone, it's going to slow your phone down to prevent it from overheating.
So not only do you have a phone that looks exactly like the old one, to the general public, it looks exactly like the old one. Because to be honest with you, we don't, a lot of people don't have as much experience dealing with phones as you do.
Yeah, of course.
So to the general public, it's the same phone.
Yeah.
But it's slower.
When taxing the system, it will slow down.
So
more,
when you need the speed, it's slower. Because when you're not taxing the system, you don't need the speed. You need the speed when you're taxing the system.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is the CEO was removed from his duties there, and also the chief design guy is now gone from the company. So, obviously, there's some problems at HTC. So, last question for you before we get out of here. I don't want to make the vlog 30 minutes. What's your view of the Apple Watch?
Well,
what do you think about it?
I'm kind of biased because I have a hatred for Apple.
Ooh, hatred.
I really do have a hatred for Apple. I don't like the way they treat their people. Ever since everybody went out and bought Apple phones, right? And then just randomly they decided they were going to change the plug. And just the plug was different. And everybody had to go out and buy all new everything. I'm talking docks, plugs, chargers, everything had to be brand new. Now, I remember when I got my Note, and it had that 3.0 USB plug in it, right? Isn't that what it's called? Something like that. I could still use my old plug.
Backwards compatible out the box.
It did not have any. I did not have to go out and buy all new everything. And I think Apple is just what people go and buy because they want to think they have the new stuff. But most of the stuff that iPhones have, we already use on our Androids. Same with the Apple Watch. You've had an Android watch you've had multiple different versions of it. So it's not this brand new technology. Oh my God, it's innovative. To me, that's just a marketing ploy, and it just irritates the heck out of me, man. It really does.
And we're gonna do like that. All right, guys, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, share, comment. Let me know what you think about what Big Homie Joe is saying. What Big Homie Joe is saying about the S6 HTC M9, or as I call it, HTC M8.5, and also the Apple Watch. As always, guys, I'm Kevin Tech Ninja. This is Big Homie Joe, and he's getting messages right now because he doesn't put the phone on vibrate when recording. And we're getting out of here.
I'm not tech certified. Peace.
Certified.